All right, what's up guys? Brendan Hancock here with another episode of Groove Subaru today. And today we're sitting inside of a 2017 Subaru Impreza. This is a 2.0i limited trim level with option package 35. So this is going to have, everything that the Impreza possibly comes with. But today we're going to focus on specifically operating the new 8-inch touchscreen navigation system. Now, it's entirely different than the previous navigation, which we did do a video on, an in-depth review on how to operate and everything. But this system is completely different. Everything on how you put an address in to voice activation commands, everything is entirely different. So we thought we'd take a look at sort of how to do this. Now, this will presumably carry over a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about, since this head unit will eventually be used in a lot of other vehicles, including the 2018 Outback. So we should be seeing some carryover here, but not 100% certain on that. So for now, let's just say that it's for the 2017 Impreza. Now, first things first, just like the old one though, it is a touch screen, so you can zoom in and out. Here you can kind of navigate through just like on a cell phone there. And then instead of hitting the back button like we used to, we're just gonna hit resume to kind of get back to sort of center ourselves. Now, the way that I have the view set up right now is sort of, I like to call it first-person shooter, so to speak, because in video games, you're behind the person. That's kind of the view that we have here. There's a couple of other options you can have, and you can change that by touching the compass up here in the corner. So I can have one which is going to show me, I believe this is true north, which is showing us, and then the other one which is simply an overhead view as well. So I like to see it if I'm driving forward, that it shows me driving forward and taking a right-hand turn as I take a right-hand turn. That's how I like it. So my personal favorite, it would be this viewpoint right here. Now, just like on the older ones, you're going to see a couple of the icons, restaurants, gas stations, things like that will pop up. You'll also see Subaru every time you drive by a Subaru dealership. So there are ways to change sort of what shows up and what doesn't, but usually I find it to be pretty good the way that it comes from the factory. So first, let's hit over menu over here. This is going to be where we're going to go to search certain things. Previous addresses would be sort of our history there. We don't have any addresses put in here right now. And then favorites, if you do ever want to set either your home or work as a favorite, this is where you would go in order to do that. So I'm going to hit go back here and then hit the menu button again. Now, nearby places, previously you used to have, when you'd go to search, an address or something, it would give you the opportunity to do either places of interest or the actual address itself. So it gives us the same kind of thing here. So if I go to nearby places, I can look up a whole different, whole array of different types of things from, look at this, adventure sports, venues. Sorry for that phone here. Let's turn that on to silent. Apologize there, guys. You've got tons of stuff here. I'm pretty sure it even has one for a helipad, which is hilarious. So I can see the different casinos, courthouses, things like that. What I don't like, or it appears such, that I don't have the ability to search specific, business, at least on this screen. So I have to go, first to gas stations or something like that in order to search that. So I don't really like that all too much. But most of what you're going to look up here, if I go to search for destination, this does actually allow you to search sort of a business name, gas station, things like that also in here. So I don't necessarily have to put in the address specifically. I could put in, Wendy's, Pizza Hut, those types of things. You could also use voice activation to do that, which we will do here in just a little bit. Now, previously, you used to have to put in, the city first, or the state first, then the city, and then the street, and then the house number. The way they have it now is you just kind of say the whole address up front. So I would do, let's say for our address here, 5300 South Broadway. What do I have there? Oh, there we go. All right, perfect. So it's got us right here, and it's going to kind of give you some options here too. So not always will you have to do the entire address. Sometimes it's going to pop up there for you. So this looks like us right here. So right there, it's going to navigate the route settings for us. Now, before, you used to have to go to like 3 different steps. You had to hit like, okay, okay, okay. You don't have to do that anymore. It's going to give you a couple of different options here, though, on to how you'd like to navigate. So you do have a couple of different options here. Now, this is literally we're right here, so it's not going to really be too much for us. But if I went to route settings before hitting go, these are certain things that I can avoid. So I can avoid tolls, highways, there's unpaved roads and things like that. So that would sort of adjust the settings on certain things that I would like to avoid there. So then if I simply hit go,
proceed to highlighted route,
that's going to give me all of the turn-by-turn directions. Now, very similarly to how we used to have it, For down here, you can change to have it arrival time, or there's a couple of other options as well. I usually like to, that's how long you have and then time remaining. Personally, I like to have arrival time there myself. Now, if you want to cancel a route, you can very easily do that by just going to menu and then cancel. So pretty simple there. Now, other things you could do like I said previously, instead of, let's say you want to search for a specific restaurant or something of that nature, you can just put, gas station, for example. Boom, and that gives us all of these gas stations there. So you don't have to, my recommendation personally is I would probably not go to nearby places unless you don't know exactly what you're looking for and just kind of want to get an idea of them. Because for the most part, you can literally just type in pretty much anything into that address thing, and can also do that for voice activation. So if I was to put Wendy's, for example, I know there's a Wendy's pretty close to here. Looks like here's a place. This was a specific address here, but same kind of thing. If I were to just search Wendy's, let's hear search. Boom, I've got all the Wendy's here, and it's going to sort them by distance for me, which is really convenient. So very, very cool there. Now, voice activation. People always want to know how to use voice activation, and it works very, very well with this. Now, voice activation does differ if you are plugged into either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, or you're actually using the regular voice activation from here. So I've noticed whenever I'm plugged into Apple CarPlay, if I hit the voice button, it's not going to do things like, tune to said radio station, or play this song on my iPad. You have to, it's going to do whatever Siri is. So it's going to go through Siri. I believe it's called Eyes Free. Now, if I'm not tethered there and I'm using the actual navigation, I can simply touch the voice button over here on the left side and do a couple of different things. So I'll show you here real quick. Navigate to 5101 South Rio Grande Street, Littleton, Colorado.
Five 101 South Rio Grande Street, Littleton, Colorado. Do you want to start navigation?
Yes.
Proceed to highlighted route.
Cool. So that is how, so long as you use the proper verbiage here for putting a voice in there, it's not as difficult as it used to be. You don't have to say it quite as quickly, although I would not recommend taking any drastic pauses there. And then also don't use the zip code, but they do make it quite easy there, and you don't have to say yes 3 times like you used to as well. You can also, I believe, if I hit the voice button, find nearest...
I didn't get that.
Sorry.
Let's try again.
Did it too
Please say
quick.
a command.
Find nearest Wendy's.
Choose an item from the list shown.
Yeah, there we
Say the
go.
item you want or say the line number.
1.
Wendy's. Do you want to start navigation?
Yes. Perfect.
Proceed to highlighted route.
No, Wendy's did not pay us for this, so I just saw the Wendy's tab on there, so that's why we're doing it like that. But it's pretty great. It works very, very well. It is very sensitive, though, so you can't, other people in the car talking, it's not going to work. You do need to wait for that beep. That's very, very crucial to do that. So, but voice activation does work quite well for using the navigation. You can also use it if you are plugged into Apple CarPlay. When you do touch it, that would do the navigation through Siri, so you could say, to Siri, navigate to the nearest Wendy's, same kind of thing there. It would work that way as well. So that would actually work even if you had a base Impreza and not the actual navigation screen here. Now, there are some settings you can change with the navigation as well. So if I do go to settings here from the home screen, if you do have navigation, you will have an extra button down here as well. And this will allow you to change whether or not you want the fastest route, the shortest route, things of that nature. You can change the map display, for example, and then also can show the points of interest icons on. So see how we had the Wendy's symbol and all that kind of stuff there? That was because we have the POI, so points of interest icons on there for us. The other things too, map update information, so they do have that available. This right now I believe is the most current, so we're not going to see that probably for 2 years, but you do get free map updates for 3 years. So those can either be downloaded online or you can come and do it at the dealership, but we won't probably see another update available for about 2 years from now. So you do get 3 free years of map updates, so you're basically getting 1 free update with the purchase of a new Subaru. So hopefully, I think that pretty much does it most of it for us. Auto zoom, that is something I recommend probably keeping off. It's personal preference there, but that's going to kind of zoom in as you get closer to a turn. Some people like that, some people don't. So very much personal preference there. From the factory, though, it's going to come with that off. So hopefully you guys have found this video to be helpful. If you guys do have any questions or specific questions, about navigation in the Impreza, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on Groove Subaru Today.